My people, we are gathered here today to mourn a giant. On the 1st of January 2026, Paramount Africa shut down MTV Base. MTV started by saying, "Video killed the radio star," and now, 20 years after arriving in Africa, the algorithm has sadly killed the video star. Hello, it's Chelsea. Let's gather round and talk about this. Before the streaming services were the leading way to discover new music, before YouTube became the go-to platform to watch music videos, and before Instagram helped you feel more emotionally attached to your favorite artist, there was MTV. Well, if you grew up in Africa, then it was MTV based to you. Kids these days who say things like, "Siri, play me some Wizkid," or "Shazam, what song is this?" You weren't there. You don't know the struggle. You don't know what it's like to watch the MTV playlist daily, hoping that a song you saw the other day, but missed the title, would come on again. I remember how hard it was to learn the intro of Gonga So. It took weeks because every time I would catch it on the radio, it was midway through or just about to end. It was torture. From the top 30 hits to the next rated, MTV was our eyes into the music industry. Plus, let's not forget its amazing shows like Sugar, Pimp My Ride, Sweet 16, and if you're lucky, Teen Wolf. But let's not get carried away by the memories, because we are actually here for something else. My people, we are gathered here today to mourn a giant. A colourful, loud, neon-lit giant. Word on the street, and by the street I mean the 3 people still watching DSTV, is that MTV is packing its bags. That's right, MTV Base, MTV Africa, they are leaving the terrestrial and satellite airwaves. The M in MTV has officially stood up, carried its Ghana Must Go bag and boarded a bus to the digital afterlife, because on the 1st of January 2026, Paramount Africa shut down MTV Base and BET Africa too. But where did it all begin, I hear you ask? Well, in 1981, long before most of us were even a thought in our parents' head, MTV launched in America. The very first thing they played was a song called "Video Killed the Radio Star." Talk about a prophecy. They literally walked into the room and told the radio, "Move over, old man, we have colours now." Little did they know that their hourglass was running too. Back then, MTV was a revolution. It was 24 hours of music videos. It was a window into a world we only heard about on shortwave radio. But for a long time, that window was closed to us, Africans. We were watching from outside, just waiting for our turn to dance. Fast forward to 22nd of February 2005, that was the day the world changed for the African creative. That was the day MTV Base Africa launched. It was the 100th MTV channel in the world, but for us, it was the only one that mattered. And do you remember the first video they played? Anyone? Anyone know the answers? It was no other than Two-Face Diva's African Queen. When that video hit the screen, 1.3 million households across Africa stopped breathing for 4 minutes. It was a love song. It told the world, we are here. Our skin is beautiful. Our sound is world class. And we don't need to sound like New York to be cool. Before 2005, if you were a Nigerian artist, your global dream was quite limited. But after MTV Base, you could be in a barbershop in Lagos and see your video playing in a club in Nairobi or a hotel in Johannesburg. And for the first time, we weren't just Nigerian or Kenyan or South African artists, we were African superstars. They gave us the Mamas, the MTV African Music Awards. I remember the first one in Abuja in 2008, seeing our stars walking a red carpet that actually looked like a red carpet. My people, I almost cried. But now, 20 years later, the party is over. The 20th anniversary special was the last thing they aired before the screen went into a loop. It's poetic, isn't it? MTV started by saying, "Video killed the radio star," and now, 20 years after arriving in Africa, the algorithm has sadly killed the video star. Don't go all on me. You're the ones who stopped watching. You're the ones who decided that watching a 3-minute masterpiece on a 50-inch plasma was just too much work, and you'd rather squint at a cracked iPhone screen, doom scrolling on social media while sitting on a toilet. You, yes you, killed the video star. But seriously, for the millennials in the room, this is the end of our civilization. MTV Base was our social studies teacher. It was our national orientation agency. It taught us how to make friends look cool, talk to girls, and convince our parents to go all out for our 16th birthday, knowing fully well that we were becoming adults at 18. That's where we learned how to dress. If you saw the band wearing 2 watches on MTV, by Monday morning, half of Ikeja was wearing 3. We didn't even ask why, we just knew that if it was on the base, it was the law. Back then, the VJs were like demigods. You remember? Cynthia, Ehiz, Stephanie? These people were more famous than the ministers of the Federal Republic. If a VJ called your name during a shout-out, you could take a loan from the bank based on that alone. You tell the bank manager, did you see Ehiz wave at the boys in Surulere? I am one of those boys, and he'd give you the money. I would say, don't try this at home, but there's no more MTV base to start with. The music videos, more. That was the era of the big budget. We're talking about videos that cost 20 million naira in 2010. Money. People were renting helicopters just to film a song about a girl who didn't even like them. There was smoke, there was pyrotechnics, and there were dancers from South Africa. You put everything you have into one visual for the song. Now, what do we have? We have visualizers. I saw a visualizer yesterday. It was just a picture of a bowl of jollof rice spinning in a circle for 4 minutes. And the comments are saying, this is deep. The rice represents the struggle. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It represents the fact that the artist probably spent all his video budget on buying streams from a farm. You see, MTV gave us curation. Someone with actual taste had to sit down and say, this song is good enough for the public. Now, the gatekeeper is an algorithm. And let me tell you something about the algorithm. It has the personality of a dry piece of agege bread. The algorithm doesn't care if your lyrics are poetic. It just wants to know if your song can be used by a 14-year-old to do a who can shake their leg the fastest challenge. Don't get me started with the MTV-based top 10. That was our Sunday school. We would gather and argue. Why is P Square at number 3? Is the VJ from a different tribe? It brought us together. Now the charts are just a battle of numbers. You see a song at number 1 and you've never heard it in your life. You go to a club and the DJ isn't even playing it. You go to a wedding and the band doesn't even know it. It is not on the Caliber Carnival playlist, but it has 50 million streams. Where are these people listening to it? In their dreams? In a warehouse in Moe? We've traded the grandeur for convenience. We used to wait all day for the Big Friday show. There was a climax. There was anticipation. Now, you literally have everything in your pocket and you're still bored. You have 40 million songs on Spotify and you still spend 2 hours scrolling because you don't know what to listen to. We are suffering from the poverty of choice, guys. MTV leaving the TV is like the closing of a legendary nightclub. Sure, you can still hear the music at home, but you'll never again feel that bass in your chest or see the lights flashing in sync with the crowd. We're losing the shared experience. So let's raise a glass. Here's to the channel that taught us how to doogie. The channel that showed us that a boy from Ojuelegba could become a global star. Thank you for the standard. Thank you for showing us that our music deserved to be framed in high definition, not just squeezed into a data-saving format. As we transition fully into this era of link in bio, let's try not to lose our souls. Don't let a robot tell you what's a hit. If a song doesn't make you want to spray money you don't have, is that even a hit? Stay tuned. Don't touch that remote. Oh wait, you don't use remotes anyways. Don't close that tab. Welcome to Beyond the Verse. It's Chelsea. Thank you for watching. Bye.